Hey there, let's talk perimeter, circumference, and area. Perimeter is going to be just the distance around an object or a shape, so that's the sum of all the sides. Area talks more about what is enclosed within it, how many square units of something can fit inside of a shape. I have several formulas here for you. These are going to be all the different formulas that we're going to need, so you might want to keep this slide handy so that you have access to all these formulas in case maybe you already know all those formulas. Alright, so let's look at some problems. We're just going to hammer through some problems. It says the botany club members are designing a rectangular garden for the courtyard in your school. They plan to place edging on the outside of the path. How much edging material will they need? Okay, that's a perimeter question. How much edging do they need? That's like the red dotted line here is going to be their edging that they have. So the garden itself is 16 by 22 feet. So we'll say this is the 16 and this is the 22. But there's like this sidewalk or a path that goes around it that's 4 feet wide. All right, well, if I look at my 16, that 4 feet is going to be here and here. So as far as how long is the edging on this side, it'd be the 16 plus the 4 twice, so 16 plus 8. So I'm up to 24 feet then for that side. All right, and then we would do the same thing here. How long do you think that edging would be? Okay, you got your 22 plus the 4 feet on both sides of the path, so that ends up being 30 feet. Once you have that figured out, then you can use your formula. You're looking for perimeter. The perimeter of a rectangle is 2L plus 2W. So I'm looking at 2 times my length. I guess I'm going to call that 30, plus 2 times my width, which is 24. And then you're just going to do a little math here. 60, 2 times 24 is 48. And if I add those together, I'd get 108 feet. So I need 108 feet of edging for that. All right, now be sure to pause the video if I move too fast or you didn't get something written down. That's what you're supposed to do. I'm just kind of going through it with you. You should be taking notes with me and pause it for however long it takes you to fill in your notes. What is the circumference of the circle in terms of pi? So in terms of pi means leave pi in your answer. Don't go plugging in 3.14. Just leave pi sitting there. So it says, also then what is the circumference of the circle to the nearest tenth? So that means plug in 3.14 for the pi and see what it would approximate to. So when you're doing circumference, we have two formulas. You can do 2 pi r or you can do pi d, and either one is fine. It doesn't matter to me at all. But since in this picture they're giving me the diameter, the 15 is the diameter, I'm going to go ahead and use this formula. So C equals pi times 15. Typically you would see that written as 15 pi. So that's what they would want. Now this is the distance around circumference, so this is measured in inches, so it's 15 pi inches. That's the first answer. But then they want you to come back and they want you to approximate that for to the tenths place. So you should have a pi button on your calculator. You should be in the habit of using that instead of typing in 3.14. So I'm just going to hit 15 times pi and see what we get. 47.1. So then if I wanted to approximate that, I'd go 47.1 inches. Okay, what if it's the area of the circle? That's a different formula. That's pi r squared. This formula definitely needs the radius. So when I look at my picture, the diameter is 15. The radius is just going to be half of that. So I'm only looking at half of it. That'd be 7.5. So A equals pi times 7.5 squared. I'm just going to type that into my calculator. It didn't, I don't know. I added this question in, so I'm not sure if they want a decimal or in terms of pi. I guess I could do it both ways again. If I take 7.5 and I square it, I'm left with 56.25, and then I still have the pi attached there. Now if I want to go ahead and approximate that, then I'll go ahead and take my 56.25 and multiply it by that pi. And then I'm left at 176.7 if I go to the tenths place. Now here's the thing on these. Since this is area, units are always units squared. So it's not just inches, it's going to be inches squared. So these would be your two answers for that problem. All right, looking here, we're doing the perimeter of a triangle, but this triangle's on a grid. Okay, perimeter is distance around, so I'm just going to have to add up the three sides here, it looks like. I need to know, based on this graph, it looks like this is 1, 2, it looks like it's 4 units, but notice that I didn't start down here at 0, I started at 1. So this is 1, 2, 3 units there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units on this side. So far I'm up to 8 units on the distance around, but I have to find this third side, and that side is not easily, it's not horizontal and vertical, I can't just count the units, it's kind of at an angle there. So that's where I take in what I've learned previously. To get from here to here, I need to know what that distance is. I'm going to use the distance formula. So up here I'm going to say the distance is equal to big square root. Do you remember your formula? It's x minus x. Maybe I should write these ordered pairs. This is over 5 up 1. This one is over 0 up 4. So now using those two ordered pairs, I'm going to do x minus x. I'm going to do 5 minus 0. Square that. Plus, now I do it with the y's, y minus y squared. This turns into just 5 squared. Plus, then this is a negative 3, but if I square a negative 3 times, that's a positive 9. All right, then I'm left with the square root of 34. Now that's not awesome. When I put it right here, square root of 34, so my answer, there's a couple ways I could write it. I could add up the numbers I can, the 3 and the 5, and I would say that the perimeter is 8 plus the square root of 34. That's kind of weird though, so I probably would come back and I'd go ahead and approximate the square root of 34. And add the 8 to it. When I do that, I get 13.8. There aren't really any units on this, so I can write units, or I'm just going to leave it blank, mostly because I ran out of room. Okay, so let's see where they don't give it to us. We have to figure it out on the graph out on our own. It says graph the quadrilateral, JKLM, with vertices. Okay, J is at -3, -3. That's right here. That's J. K is over 1 down 3. All right. L, over 1 up 4. M is -3, 1. Now we're looking for the perimeter. So the shape that I'm dealing with is this one right here. Now 3 of the 4 sides are great. I'd have this side here, looks like it's 4 units. This one is 4 units. This one is 7 units. But this one right here, you have to find the distance for. So I'm going to stop now. I'm going to let you finish this one. Go do your distance formula from M to L, from those ordered pairs. Do your distance formula, find out what that is, add in all the other sides, and get your perimeter. All right, take a minute, pause that video so you can finish it up. All right, here's what I got for a perimeter. My distance formula ended up coming out really nice for me there. Came out as a whole number, and since it did, then my perimeter just comes out really nice. Add up the 4s and the 7 and the 5, and I end up at 20. All right, let's look at this one. This one is not a normal shape here. It's not just a square, rectangle, circle. It's not that. But it is a bunch of those things put together. What I'm going to look at here is trying to section this off into some separate shapes, and then I'll add up all the areas of the shapes. Now there would be a bunch of ways that you can do this. I'm going to go ahead and just section this off right here and right here. I'm just going to go vertical with it. Now what I notice is that all the single hash marks are going to be 3s, and all the double hash marks are going to be 9s. Now 9 is this entire distance here. All right, so here I got a 3 times a 9. Area of a rectangle is just length times width. 3 times 9. So the area of this piece is 29. On this middle piece, I know that this is still 3, but the question is, what's this? Notice the whole thing is 9, and since this is a single hash mark right here, it's 3 units. So subtract out the 3 units and you've got 6 units. So this is a 3 times 6. That's 18. That same thing happened on the next one. This one ends up being a 3 by 3. They're both single hash marks. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, then we're going to add these 3 numbers up, and that'll be the total area of that figure. So I think that ends up being 54. When you add those all up, it's area, so we're going to go centimeters squared. Looks like it's D. All right, we're looking for the area of the shaded region in terms of pi, which means don't plug 3.14 in. Just leave it with pi. Now the shaded area is kind of like this donut shape, and if I were to find just the area of the big circle, that would be too much because the inside of this circle is not shaded. So what you need to do here is take the area of this one, the big one, subtract the area that's not shaded here, and then you'd have left just the shaded area. So we're going to have to find the area of both circles. I'm going to take the big circle. And area of a circle, remember, is pi r squared. So in the big circle, be careful, the radius is not 4. The radius of the big circle is, if this was, don't let that stand out. It's here's the center, here's the edge. How far is that to get from the center to the edge? That's 7 units. So pi times 7 squared. Okay, let's do this again. This time we're going to have the little circle. And this one's pi, and then again radius squared. On this problem, the little circle, the white circle, is this one, and it has a radius right here. It's not, has nothing to do with the 4. It's just from here to here is 3 units. So that's going to be pi times 3 squared. That's 9 pi. And then if you remember, what we're trying to do is find the area of the shaded region, which means I got to take the big area, subtract out the little unshaded part. So 49 pi minus 9 pi. Well, it works just like if it's an x, 49x minus 9x, that kind of thing. So 49 pi minus a 9 pi would get me 40 pi. Find the area and circumference of the circle in terms of pi if the endpoints of the diameter are, and I have them written there, but this is where they are, this spot and this spot. Okay, those are the endpoints of the diameter. All right, let's go ahead and find the length of the diameter. That means do your distance formula. The distance between those 2 points. And that's, again, that's x minus x, so 2 minus negative 4 squared plus y minus y, negative 2 minus 4 squared. All right, let's see if this comes out nice. That's going to be a 6 squared. The next one's going to be a negative 6 squared, which actually would give us 36 again, which is the square root of 72. Now 72 is not a perfect square, but it certainly does reduce, so we would want to try to reduce that. And if you look at what we just did to get to the 72, you added the 36 twice. The best way to break that down would be a 36 and a 2. Square root of 36 and square root of 2. So that ends up being 6 times the square root of 2, since 36 is a perfect square. All right, so now that's the distance, or the diameter. This is the distance between my points, but that's the diameter. If my diameter equals that, what do you think my radius would equal? I hope you're saying 3 root 2. 6 root 2 is the full thing. If I divide that by 2, it only divides by the part that's outside of the radical. So 3. The root 2 stays put. Now, knowing that information, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do my two formulas. It wants the area and the circumference. Let's do area, I guess. Area equals pi times the radius squared, which is 3 root 2 squared. Now, I could go to my calculator, but really that's an easy one to do. Just to square without a calculator, it's going to be a pi. And to square a radical like this, you're going to take this and you're going to square the 3, so that would be 9. And then you're going to square the square root, and those just cancel out. So that'd be a 4. And remember, you're multiplying between here. So this was a 9 times, I think I said that wrong. The square and the square root cancel each other out, and all you have left is 2. So this squared is 9 times 2. So it should be 18 pi. I wrote pi times 18, but probably doesn't matter which way you write it. Okie doke. That's one of them. It said in terms of pi, so I don't have to go to the decimal form. Let's do the circumference. Circumference equals, and I can do 2 pi r, or I could just do pi times diameter, since I have the diameter sitting over there. Okay, so leaving it in terms of pi, it's not super nice there. So C equals, I don't know, usually probably the way you're going to see that written is 6 times pi times root 2, where the pi goes in the middle of those. But as long as you get all 3 of them multiplied, I don't care which way you do that. All right, so there's your circumference. All right, that was my last problem, so that was a little tougher one. Hopefully this helps. Good luck.